I am but a captain on a lonely ship, a sea, unforgiving in its constant movement and force. These seas I have traveled before, and yet they scare me to my deepest core. I know of what they're capable of, and how a fool's errand quickly turns to a fool's demise. And yet, there is a pleasure from this tension I feel, for I am not a civilized man. I wander these wide open waters for a reason the wider world will never know, a reason only appreciated by me. The sting of the salty air, the endless chaotic noise of my wake, the electricity in the air of the incoming storm. This is where my solace comes from, knowing I belong here and nowhere else. And yet, I am a stranger still, an island upon a vast ocean, seeking to swallow me whole. Men of vast ambition and little fear challenge what's before them for the simple pleasure of gold and glory, regardless of the consequences. For them, the real treasure is knowing they have conquered all. For some, revenge is what brings them here. A scorned man with destiny foretold still demands his pound of flesh. A white whale floats along, taunting him with every rise for air. It threatens to eat him alive like it has done many in the past. But revenge is an emotion the sea has no time for. It cares not for your ambitions. It simply consumes. And it will consume one of the two. It always has. As an island upon the sea, the mind wanders into depths that men have never traveled. In my restless nights, I see a man engulfed in flames, the pain unbearable. I fear this man would be me, but it isn't. It's a fellow captain, his fate sealed by those who demand the gallows. A rival still, but my mind dwells on the terrible screams. It tells me my humanity still lives on, despite my loneliness. Would the sea be less cruel, or more peaceful? Or does the fire cleanse us of our past sins? I choose not to know and sail on. Into a storm that I have faced before, I recognize its shape, its form, its sparks welcoming me to its warm embrace. And yet, it's different. It doesn't want me to pass through this time. This storm refuses to let me be the same person who arrived. It wants me to warp, to buckle, to bend to its unforgiving power. Forces of nature care not for mortal ambitions. They have motivations far greater. And yet, I continue to travel forward. The night sky promising a brighter future, but only if the storm passes. So I stand alone, like 1,000 captains before me on 1,000 ships. I wait for the dawn.
It's down to you. It's down to me. Did you ever really think that I'd become someone you'd call? really think that I'd become someone you'd call your enemy.